2 feature-length films based on my favorite TV show of all time. Yeah, it's made for TV movies, but who cares? That doesn't derail from the fact that it's more Incredible Hulk TV show content for me to consume.
You see, in 1982, the Incredible Hulk TV series was only 7 episodes into its 5th season when it was abruptly cancelled. It's debatable as to why this happened, but one thing was for certain. The Incredible Hulk ended without a proper goodbye. So 6 years passed, and a man named Nicholas Correa would collaborate with the man himself, Bill Bixby, to produce a movie that would mark the return of the Emerald Emissary. Bixby, of course, would star in the film, and Correa would write and direct. This brought us The Incredible Hulk Returns, and this is the film I'll be talking about today.
So is this the return the Incredible Hulk deserved, or a failed attempt to cash in on a previously successful franchise? Well, let's look at the plot first, and then we'll answer that question.
So it's been 2 years since David Banner last turned into the Hulk. I don't know how he's managed this, considering that in the show he couldn't go anywhere without changing at least twice, but I digress. Currently, he's staying with his new girlfriend working at a lab where he's developing a gamma-ray transponder which he claims should cure him of his unusual ailment. Meanwhile, Banner's boss's brother, sorry if this gets confusing, engages in an agreement with some mercenaries to steal the transponder machine so that they may turn a profit and the brother of Banner's boss can make his own way in the world without his brother's backing. On top of all this going on, a man named Donald Blake shows up. Apparently Banner and Blake know of each other, and Blake has tracked him down to get his help with a quote-unquote problem he has. You see, Blake is in possession of a mystical hammer that he can use to summon the spirit of an ancient Nordic warrior known as Thor. Yes, the mighty Thor is in this movie. If you thought Thor Ragnarok was the first Hulk Thor movie, then, well, here you go. Obviously, there's changes to the Thor character and mythos like there is with the Hulk mythos, but I won't get into them in this video. If I get a request to go over the changes, I'll make a separate video for it. Anyway, Blake brings Thor, and he acts like an ass and pisses David off, and he finally becomes the thing he hates so much. Thor and Hulk scuffle, they smash, and the Hulk leaves the lab they were in. The next day, Banner scolds Blake and makes him stick around to help with the transponder. The reporter Jack McGee shows up, but he doesn't do much in the film, so I won't be mentioning him again in this synopsis. The following night, the mercenaries try to steal the transponder, but Banner hulks out and stops them, and they run off. The bad guys at a loss, they then kidnap Banner's girlfriend, which results in another Hulk-Thor action scene, but ends with the girlfriend being captured. Now Banner and Blake are attempting to find her, and they learn from the brother of Banner's boss, who had a change of heart, that she's being kept in a warehouse somewhere. In order to make sure the power of the transponder doesn't fall into the wrong hands, just in case something goes wrong at the warehouse, Banner burns the chip containing all of the transponder's memory and data, sacrificing his one possible chance at leading a normal life. So Banner and Blake go to the warehouse and find the bad guys. Banner hulks out, and Blake summons Thor. They beat the bad guys, save the girl, and all's well that ends well. Except for David, missing out on his one chance at a cure, but I digress. Banner and Blake go their separate ways. Banner kisses his girl goodbye, then he walks off into the distance to continue his never-ending journey. The end.
Now that we have that out of the way, we can finally gush about the good things in this film.
I guess I should start off by saying it's cool to see this universe's version of Thor. He's pretty funny and energetic when he stops being a douche. It's fascinating also to see another superpowered being interact and go toe-to-toe with the Hulk. The only other time something like this happened was in the 2-part episode The First. The introduction of Donald Blake and Thor was meant to act as a backdoor pilot for their own show, which is set up well here, but unfortunately never came to fruition. I'm happy to say that the movie is as entertaining as the original series. The structure of the film is very similar to a common episode and revels in everything I love about the series. The transformations, the dialogue, and especially the smashing are all what you expect, and I love every minute of it. Fittingly, Because it's a movie, David Banner hulks out a lot more often than he did in the show, and anytime we see Lou Ferrigno run around in green makeup smashing props is always welcome. And I think it goes without saying that the acting is top notch. Bill Bixby plays the role with the same conviction and passion he always has. Everyone else does good too, and all around make an entertaining cast. But if there's anyone more entertaining than Banner or the villains or even the Hulk, it's Eric Allen Kramer as Thor. Every time he's summoned, he either wants to do battle or get a drink. That's all he really wants, and it's pretty damn funny. My absolute favorite scene in the movie is when Jack McGee goes looking for David Banner's alias and instead meets Thor pretending to be Banner. The dialogue and delivery had me cracking up on the floor. Watch the film if only for this one scene.
But if it wasn't obvious already, I really had fun with this film. But
True as it may be that it's cool to see Thor in this film, it also makes for a crowded film. The movie is trying to focus on the return of the Hulk, the introduction to Thor, Banner's relationship to a flat and uninteresting character, a brother trying to show up his big shot big brother, mercenaries and their plans, and one of the best characters the show ever conceived, Mr. McGee, is just tacked on for no other reason other than to show Jack McGee is still around. While I mentioned the structure is similar enough to a common episode, it at times feels like multiple episodes mashed together, and as I've said, that makes it a little too busy and shows a lack of overall focus. Speaking of focus, the movie spends too much time on Blake and Thor. Most of the time I didn't mind, but I started asking myself during scenes like the bar scene, this is a Hulk movie, right? And while on the subject of Thor, why is Thor in this? I know they wanted to make a spin-off show, but why Thor? Of all the superheroes, why not pick Iron Man, Captain America, or even that shitty spin-off Spider-Man from that failed 1978 series? The Incredible Hulk is a show as based in reality as it can possibly be. But all of that is immediately tossed out the window when you give us a guy pretty much entirely based on magic. And I know the most likely candidate to go head-to-head with the Hulk is Thor, but the fight scenes they share isn't worth the paper it's scripted on. They only fight once, and it's a complete farce. They don't punch, and they just cause collateral damage that doesn't impact the battle at all. I mean, come on, guys. You couldn't put a little more effort into the action scenes? If there's anyone that can afford to take a punch from the Hulk, it's motherfucking Thor. And the last thing that pissed me off was when David Banner destroyed the transponder chip. That was possibly his only chance at getting a cure, and he pissed it away because there was a chance that it may fall into the wrong hands? I can understand being concerned, but to assume that you were at such a risk you felt you needed to destroy your salvation is stupid because of one overlooked detail. You're the Hulk! Did Banner just forget he transforms into the strongest thing on Earth? How many times has he walked into a dire situation and stormed back out without a single scratch on him? On top of that, he had Thor backing him up. He's essentially another Hulk. That's two Hulks! Was there really any doubt that they weren't gonna win this?
And why totally destroy it? Why not hide it? Bury it? Give it to someone else? Do fucking anything but destroy the only thing you spent years working to get your hands on! God! Phew. Sorry. I didn't mean to get that worked up. It's just the negatives in this film are really glaring negatives. But with both positives and negatives listed, I think we should go back and try to answer our original question. Is this the return the Incredible Hulk deserved? Well, with everything all said and done, I think I can wholeheartedly say yes. Even though it may seem like the cons outweigh the pros here, I think that this film embodies everything we love and hate about the show.
The fantastic characters and dialogue and the hokey action and disenfranchising plots What we see in this film is what the Hulk always has been, just condensed down to an hour and a half. As a fan, I can forgive it for that, but as a casual viewer, it succumbs more to its downfalls because unless you have a preface of the original show, you probably won't be as forgiving. Ultimately, though, it's an entertaining film with less entertaining moments sprinkled throughout. So if you're a Hulk fan, or if you're curious where the cinematic Thor Hulk dynamic got its start, then check it out.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the review. I hope you enjoyed. And I hope you're excited for the next one, which will be Trial for the Incredible Hulk. I know I'm excited for that. And don't forget to give me your opinions in the comments below. And like, subscribe, share, and more importantly, have a good night.